Regard your soldiers as your children, and they will follow you into the deepest valleys. Look upon them as your own beloved sons, and they will stand by you even unto death.
Alright, welcome back everybody to my second World of Tanks tank review. So, before we get into this, I have some things I want to say. First, that my KV2 review, I started as more of a pilot episode for what would be a series of World of Tanks reviews. You guys seemed to enjoy it, and I got enough positive influence off it that I decided to do another one. And probably you're going to be seeing many more of these in the future. I have a few new tools to show you. One will be the World of Tanks Tank Inspector, which I'm going to use later in this episode to talk about the armor of this tank. But I got some new stuff I want to show you guys all working together, and we'll see how this goes. So, you're probably thinking, Panzer, this certainly can't be the tank we're reviewing. I mean, come on, what is this little thing? Well, this little tyke is the Panzer II for Germany. Now, yes, it's only tier 2. It's a small tank. And mainly, you guys probably would want me to be reviewing tanks of higher tier. However, for new players who just want to start off with the German tech tree, I definitely recommend this tank. And I do want to do some reviews on not only the high tanks, but on some of the low tier ones as well. So just to cover all bases here, and yeah. Alright, so this is the Panzer II, and this is one mean little tank. Let me tell you if you know how to use it. So, just like last time, I'm going to do all the stats on the side here, list them in order, how it works, but I'm going to skip the armor. We're going to get to that in the second half of this garage review, and then get into the battle. So, for hit points here, 170 hit points. That, for a tier 2 tank, is a nice block of health, considering it's a light tank. Yes, the medium 2 for Britain has 190 hit points, but it's a medium tank, it's a lot slower. Most of the tanks that have more hit points than this are not light tanks. For a light tank, this tank has a very high amount of health. Its weight to load limit, 946 to 10 out of 8, so it has a, I believe, 16.91 weight ratio, which is not bad. This thing can ram tanks. It can ram effectively, and of course you're going to want the gun to be your primary way of dealing damage, but ramming, it can ram. Engine power, if you have the top engine here, the Maybach HL62TRM, 160 engine power. So this is going to be moving around pretty fast. 40 speed limit, that is not a fantasy speed limit. This can reach that on good terrain. It can go even faster downhill. 40 traverse speed. This thing turns very, very fast. I mean, again, most low-tier tanks do. But great traverse speed there. Turret traverse speed of 44. So it can turn the turret very quickly. You can get around obstacles pretty fast. Great maneuverability on this thing. So now, before we get into the view range and signal range, let's get into the guns this tank has to offer. Which it has 3. The 2cm KWK-30. The 2cm KWK-38, and the 2cm Flak-38, of which you're probably only going to be wanting to run the tier 2, because both of these guns are tier 1. So, and it's a tier 2 tank. I mean, they're not bad guns. Both have 23 to 46 armor penetration, which isn't bad. That can pen things. Both do 11 average damage. Both of them are autoloaders. All 3 guns for this tank are autoloaders. So, terrible accuracy on the first gun. Bad aiming time. Slightly better accuracy on the second gun. Slightly better aiming time. Still not much of an improvement there. Last gun, same aiming time, much better accuracy, higher penetration, and the same damage as the other guns. So honestly, you'll be running probably the Flak 38 on this thing. Now look how many tanks this gun works on. It's kind of scary actually. It tells you how popular it is. A lot of the German tanks have this gun as a mountable weapon. So it works out pretty well. I mean, the gun autoloader can fire pretty fast. Most of Germany's low-tier tanks do have autoloaders. Decent pen. So now, before we get into the armor, how about the view range? 320, decent view range for a tier 2 tank. I mean, not great, not bad either, decent view range. Great signal range if you have the best radio here. I mean, this is better than most Russian radios at like, tier 5 or higher. And again, Russia has awful radios, but still, not a bad radio set. So, now it's time to talk about how can you be protected in this little tank? What kind of armor are we looking at here? Well, I'm going to open up my tank inspector and show you. So I'll be right back. Alright, so this is the World of Tanks Tank Inspector. It allows you to look at, in detail, the armor of your tanks, what weapons you should equip to pen other tanks, that kind of stuff. So, the Panzer II, which we're just looking at in the garage, I told you I was going to skip over the armor because I want to talk about it here now, in the second part here. So, what type of armor does this little tank have? I mean, it's only tier 2, can't have that much. Knowing Germany, it probably has decent armor, but let's get into it. So, armor. Okay, on the front here, lower glacis, unangled, a nice 35 armor. Average tank probably won't be able to pen that unless they're firing. I mean, of course, HE will be able to pen it. Gold will definitely pen it. That's actually not bad, and if you can angle it downward, you're going to get even higher armor left there. The front, however, not so well armored. Great lower glacis, fairly poor armor in the front of around 20. Even lower armor on the top of the turret and hull here. However, if they do miss and manage to shoot you in right there or right here, they're going to hit 55 levels of armor, which is 55 millimeters of armor, which is the highest armor on the tank anywhere on it. That will almost be a guaranteed bounce, even if they're firing gold. 55 millimeters of armor is excellent for tier 2. Sadly, there isn't that much of it on the tank. The mantlet right here and the front turret, 30 armor, it's okay. Not quite as good as the lower glacis at 35, but it's alright. That's probably not going to be able to take too many hits, though. Not as bad as the smushy front, but not too great either. Sloped armor along the turret here, meaning that'll probably bounce clean off. 20 millimeters of sloped armor, that's great. Top of the tank, 17, along with the weak spot in the front and sides. Pretty poor armor. And then the commander's cap is actually 30, just like the front mail of the turret and front of the tank there. Great armor, actually, on the commander's cap, which is, Germany usually does not have good armor there. Sides of the turret, 20, not all that great. And then again, sides of tanks usually don't have all that great of armor. 18 armor on the side viewports of the turret, and 15 on the top of the back. And then only 10 on the lower back. So back completely defenseless, sides pretty defenseless. Decent front armor, though, if they manage to get you there, or there. Or the commander's cap. But that isn't too much of a problem considering this tank can turn very fast and re-angle itself. Or, the turret's reverse, but you can also turn so the front of the turret's facing your opponent. Besides, because of this tank's speed, you're probably going to be zipping around them and blasting them with your autoloader instead of them hitting you. So, unless you're fighting another fast tank, particularly something from America or Russia, which can outrun this tank, then you're in trouble. But as long as you can stay ahead of them for speed, your armor should be okay, as long as you angle it towards them. Fairly large tracks on this thing, which you guys all know when you shoot a tracks, it does nothing but track. Doesn't do any actual hit point damage, so even if you're brave enough, go ahead and angle the tracks. I mean, they're going to track you, but if you can try to cover your weak hull armor with the tracks, and you can bounce a shell from that. So overall, decent armor for tier 2. It is German, so you're going to expect that. But decent gun, decent armor. This little tank is actually a feisty one out there, and it can do some very, very high damage if you know exactly what you're doing. So again, it's a little fun tank. It doesn't take that much, learning or skill to play it, and it's a great tank if you're just getting new to the game to start off. So that is the armor level of the Panzer II. Now it's time to get into the game. Alright everybody, here's my Panzer II review for you today. Now, let me unpause it here. Now, as you can see, we got Province. And this is one of my worst maps ever. My history on this map is not good. But, I don't know, you guys don't really care about that. Just, anyway, the point is to show you the strengths and weaknesses of the tank. That's what we're going to get into here. And I had a pretty daredevil stun at the beginning of this, but normally you wouldn't do what I'm about to do here. But this tank does have the armor and speed to rush up their side of the map very quickly. Now the map's extremely small, so getting to their side is very, very easy. I'll push down here, and again, kind of angling myself, thinking I'll see an enemy soon. No one spotted yet. Now you guys know where I'm going with this. I'm going to push up and hide around this house right here, which I'm already halfway across the map. That's how small province is. And to think tier 10s could once play here. That's ridiculous. I'm glad they nerfed it to only low tiers. So, here is the Cruiser 3 that we just spotted. Now, I can't see him yet. Now I can see him. So, it's got pretty bad armor. Start firing it at the side. Missing. Start penning it. And with the flat gun on this tank, penning tanks won't be difficult. I mean, 39 to 56 penetration is pretty good for tier 2. See tier 3, you're in trouble, but tier 2, you should be okay. Now, I've been spotted. Someone did just fire at me. So that's not good. But still at full health. I missed. So I'm thinking I'm pretty safe right now. Behind a house. Here's a tier 1 Cunningham. Just sitting there. Low armor. Move my target from him. I should have stayed on him. Fire at the Cruiser. Bounced. Cruiser has pretty good frontal armor in some areas. Should aim for the T1. I decided against it. Let someone else get the easy kill. Now there's the Cruiser again. That one penned for some reason. Front of the tank has some strengths and weak spots. And again, guys, you can see the autoloader on this. I get 5 shells, each of which fires 2 shots instead of 1. So I get a 10-shot burst every 4.2 seconds. Now, I don't even have a 100% crew on this tank. Probably shoot even faster. But there's the Cruiser again. I start opening fire in the front of it. Now, I only got 1 pen in, but someone else would kill him. I had 2 shells left, but I decided to reload, so I got my full clip ready. And a lot of stuff's going on right now, actually. I'm wondering, should I push up? Is anybody over there? Cruiser spotted. So I'm thinking, 4-3 is the score. Should I push up that hill or not? That's pretty crazy, but you know what? I'm going to try it. So I decide, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? Or am I just going to get schooled? Because I've made this mistake several times in the past. And I'm like, no, I've got the armor for this. I can do it. So I decided to push up against the hill. Immediately get spotted by this Cruiser. Now, I'm going to slow this down for you. Watch this. Watch how many shots he's firing. Okay? He's still bouncing off me. I'm penning him, and he's bounced all of his shells off the front of my tank because of that 55 millimeters of armor on the front. Amazing armor level. And he's probably pissed. Look at that. He bounced all of his shells, his entire burst, right off the front of my tank. So that's good. I'm fully reloaded. He pulled back, and now I'm rushing. Now I'm going to try to rush up their hill. See if there's anybody there. Cruiser's destroyed. Looking around, nothing seems to be there. Pulling back for a second, getting my bearings with me, and I'm going to push up the hill now. So, again, I'm quick, but I'm not that quick. My tracks are damaged, so I can't go at full speed. And then I see a tier 1 for some reason is over there. I'm not even sure how we got there, but he's not my problem. I'm not going to deal with him. Yeah, he's done. So, pretty soon here, bam. A wild Cunningham appears. Yes, and I don't know what he's doing. I don't even know what strategy he was trying to do here, but I just started shooting him. Probably should have kept pushing, but I wanted to kill really badly, so I just kept firing in front of him. And eventually I got him. Pen. And the quick reload on this tank for its full flak allowed me to get him before the rest of my team could. So 1 down. I still have 4 shells in my clip, but I decided to reload so I can get my full ammunition. And just like that, 4.2 I'm loaded. Now, I got 2 guys on my rear. Definitely don't want that. Pull up behind cover as fast as I can. If those guys were smart, they would have shot me in my back. I've got absolutely no armor. But they didn't go for it. So, that's good. So, I'm pushing up through here. And all I know is they got a Panzer 35 ton over there somewhere. That's all I know. I run into more tanks than I bargained for, though. But so far, the front armor of this tank has definitely proven its worth. I'm pretty confident I can bounce pretty much anything off the front unless they're firing gold. And most people at this level aren't. So then I find the Panzer 35 ton. He doesn't see me, still backing up, tries to angle, dead. And then I see the T-26. Fire at him, pen. He doesn't seem to have the mental ability to move, so I just kept firing at him. Didn't get the kill, but hey, never mind. He was a VA Type B. I thought it was a T-26. Never mind. So I got him. Only 3 guys left. Seems like it's going to be a clear victory. I've got 2 kills so far, 257 damage, and then a T7 car, which hasn't seemed to move the whole game, and is still not moving. I don't even know what happened. to the enemies here. They just decided to randomly not attack me. I don't know. But I'm wondering if he's a bot. I should report him for being a bot. I don't even know what that clan is. Do bots play in clans? Maybe. I don't know. So, T7 car is now rushing down the hill because he just woke up, apparently, from his eternal slumber. He's about to get himself killed. So, like, screw him. I really don't care. Now, this is where it gets interesting. We have a Panzer II over here. My exact same tank. He is stock, though. But look, I cannot pen him for the life of me. That frontal armor, I can't get past it. Bounce, bounce. Try to aim for the turret. Bounce. Bounce. I did get one penetration right there. But it's very difficult. Even stock. It's difficult to pen a stock Panzer II from the front. Now I'm penning him on that low armor turret, though. So finally, we have a Panzer Jaeger here. If he was looking at me, I'd be scared, but luckily he wasn't. Put an entire round into his side and take him right out. So that's my review, guys. I'll see you on the next video, and I hope this helped a lot.